Welcome to the Sheila C Show. And that C stands for come on in this room and have a sit down so we can chit chat for a little while. Let me tell you, at the Sheila C Show, it is the ultimate go-to podcast for ambitious individuals just like yourself who want to live a more fulfilling and successful life, to get valuable insights, expert tips, and aspiring stories to help you improve your lifestyle, grow your business, and enhance your emotional well-being. Listen, we're here at the Sheila C. Hill Show. In every episode, you're going to gain practical tips and insightful wisdom in the company of a supportive community of like-minded individuals, whom I call Sheila's Thrive Tribe, because, baby, we is thriving over here. So if you would like to be a part of that community, just subscribe, like, and share, and voila, it's just that simple. So if you are new, I just want to say thank you for tuning in, and hello, hola, bonjour, como está, ni hao, howdy, and what's up, y'all? You are in for a great treat today with our special guest, Damika Wesley. And I tell y'all all the time, y'all know how I roll. We bring nothing but the best on the Sheila C. Hill Show. We are not the regular smegalas. We are VIP over here, baby. And Damika is not going to disappoint at all. She is an empowerment and mindset coach. She's resilient, and she has overcome every obstacle that was meant to break her. So yes, she has a story. Baby, she's a mom of 7, and she uses her personal story to uplift and motivate others facing similar challenges. I am so glad to have Damika Wesley to the stage. Welcome.
Thank you, Sheila.
So glad that you're here today, sis.
Thank you.
So if you can just tell us a little of your story for people who don't know you. What's your story?
Well, my story is, Sheila, I face homelessness more times than I care to admit. I've been facing homelessness since the age of 15. I was 15 and pregnant the first time that I was homeless. But through it all, I refused to allow it to take over my life. I refused to allow it to control me. Obstacles happen in life, and sometimes we bring it on ourselves. Sometimes others put it on us. But at the end of the day, it's how we deal with those obstacles that make or break us. So that's part of my story, and why not only do I call myself resilient, but it was said to me so many times that I actually had to sit back and think, you are resilient. You are a resilient woman.
Wow, I love that. Okay, so for someone who may be in that position right now, what do you tell them? Like, what was that just stuck with you that made you even be resilient? What did you have to pull out of yourself, or what? Tell me that process.
I had to first let go of my past. I grew up in poverty. I grew up both parents addicted to drugs. I was sexually assaulted at 14 years old. And like I said, I experienced my first homelessness situation at the age of 15 and pregnant. So I would tell anybody, obstacles happen in life. Sometimes it's more traumatic to others. Sometimes it's not as harsh to others, but it's going to happen. So it's how we deal with those obstacles that make or break us. We can either say, okay, it's going to happen, and we look at it from a standpoint of how can I now get through it? Or we can sit and dwell in it, which is going to cause us emotional problems. It's going to bring on the depression. It's going to bring on the stress, the anxiety, the panic attacks. So I would say have a positive outlook on life. I don't care what you're going through. You can look at the situation positively And that's what makes someone resilient and able to bounce back from those setbacks and those obstacles that happen in life.
Wow, that's awesome advice. Oh my goodness. So, during that process and what you went through, what are some key lessons that you learned from your journey of resilience, and how have that influenced your perspective on your life?
So, one of the key things is to evaluate yourself. Look inside of yourself. While some things we bring on ourselves, and like I say, others people put on us, we have to still look inside of ourselves because we can't control others, nor can we change others. So we have to look inside of ourselves to see what we can do, what part we may have played in it or may not have played in it, and what could we have done differently. And that's the starting point to really reflect, self reflect on who you are and who you want to become. And I would say that once you do that, once you make that first step, it'll open up so many doors for you because when you are able to truly see yourself and understand yourself, you'll know what direction you want to go in and what direction you no longer want to be in.
Okay. So, what do you say to the people who struggle? And thank you for sharing and being transparent and tell you about your past, because that right there shows that you've healed.
Yes.
But I just recently did an episode, The Angry Black Woman, and I had a guest panelist, and one of them was saying they had a right to be angry. They had a right to feel because of the things that they went through. But at what point do you heal? But what do you say to the person who says, I have a right to be angry, and woe is me? And they hold on to that instead of taking them to the next level. They stay there in the past. What do you tell them? Like real
So,
talk.
like, really, you have the right to be angry, but it's not going to help you if you dwell in that anger. We should, we have all sorts of emotions. It's how we
Yeah.
handle those emotions that makes or breaks us. So let's say something happened to me and I'm just angry. I'm processing it for a day or two, and I'm like, okay, I've been angry long enough. It's time for me now to move past this in a sense. As far as now saying, what am I going to do from here on out? Because it happened and I can't take it back. Now, if I allow that anger to sit and I
Mhm.
sit in it for weeks and months on end, what happens is over time, it then becomes your personality. So if you sit in that anger,
Mm.
you are allowing that situation that caused it to now control your life. And now it has shaped who you are. So you just walk around as that angry woman all the time. And it's from one situation that occurred that's not allowing you to move forward. So it's okay to feel anger. It's okay to be angry at different situations, but don't allow it to control you and don't sit in it.
Woo! I love that. I love that. Okay, well let's break it on down. Now, so many people say, oh, this person did this to me. I mean, it could be a friend. They did this to me. This happened in my past. And they don't realize how much that is controlling them. They don't realize if you don't forgive, how that is controlling you. Let's talk a little about forgiveness. That's like a point where people is like taboo. Like, no, people are so prideful they don't want to forgive, or they feel like they have a right, but they don't sometimes people don't understand that you're in this position and you're doing yourself more harm because you're rotten in the inside because you're holding unforgiveness. I know that has to be a part within your program or in that process. How can somebody forgive somebody without actually hearing them apologize?
And that's key. Most people can't forgive because they don't get the closure that they're looking for. And nine times out of 10, you'll never receive
Right.
that closure, unfortunately. So, and they also don't understand that forgiveness is not for the other person that hurt them, it's for themselves. So,
Mm.
forgive, it's not saying that I am no longer going to remember what you did to me, because I am going to remember it. It's saying I forgive you because I need to now move forward with my life. And I don't have to associate with you. I don't have to deal with you any longer just because I forgave you. It's for me to heal from the situation that occurred, learn from it, which is key, and then move past it. And I tell people, you can't sit, you cannot hold that grudge forever, because you're giving them control over your life. You have to let it go. You please don't sit in that and
Yes.
not forgiving somebody. Let it go for yourself.
And life is so much more fulfilling when you do that. And also, you, sometimes we're just existing and not living because we have so much resentment and anger. I was talking to someone one day and they was like, I'm so mad. I'm just so angry with my baby daddy, da 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 da. And they was started talking. I was like, well, how old is your baby? 24? 24?
And most times they don't even remember what started them to be mad in the beginning.
Yes, yes. Hell, sis, you need to let it go. 24 years and you've been holding on to the same grudge. But a lot of people don't deal with rejection. I know that's going to be in that process. Talk about the rejection. Come on.
Yes. I tell people all the time, especially my children, no is the first word that you ever learn. And it's okay. It's okay to say no, and it's okay to hear no.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, depending on the situation, no don't always mean no forever. It may just no for right now. Like, accept that rejection and then self-process. Why was I rejected? Where did that rejection come from? Like, you have to change your mindset on how you look at things, because when you look at things from a positive mindset, it sets forth so many different things in your life. It changes the path that you're going on when you can look at a horrible situation or a traumatic situation from a positive outlook.
Ooh, I love that. What? Say that again. We need to write that one down. Say that again.
Yes, when you can look at something in a positive way, I don't care what the situation is. And I used to drive my husband crazy with this. Whatever the situation is, I'm looking at it from a positive perspective, because there's something positive in everything. And even if that person, I mean, truly, truly hurts you, there is a reason behind it. And it's not always something that has to do with you. It could come from their past or their upbringing. So you kind of like have to have empathy even for the people who have harmed you or caused you hurt and pain or caused that anger or that madness.
Listen, you are speaking some truth on here today, okay? Because listen, we have so many people that are just stuck. They just stuck. But sometimes the problem is people don't want to do the work on themselves. Listen, we're going to take a commercial break and we're going to come back and talk about how people don't want to do the work. So we'll bring you back after this commercial, because, baby, people need to understand you got to do the work. You have to do the work. Oh my goodness.
Are you looking for relief from pain?
Oh my goodness. Okay, we're going to take commercial back.
I too was there. I was taking over 21 pills and supplements a day until I found CBD. CBD oil helped relieve my pain, anxiety, and depression. I was able to wean myself off of all of my medicines. Yes, even my opioids. Listen, you can shop ahouseofhemp.com for various ways to get CBD into your system to help you as well. You can get them in gummy form, flower form, or oil form, as I mentioned earlier. Listen, you can get your sleepy gummies, you can get your CBD gummies, your Delta 8 gummies, or even your Delta 9 gummies at ahouseofhemp.com.
ahouseofhemp.com for sponsoring this episode. Okay, so just do a little recap. We have Miss Damika Wesley as our special guest on today. Listen, she's been homeless. She has faced many challenges in her life. She has shown that she is resilient. She's just not a coach who just tells you what to do. She has been through the process. She has wavered through everything to get to this point. It's very important to understand when people have been through on the other side of where you're trying to get to listen and understand and take their instructions. Now, we was talking about doing the work yourself because, woo, baby, sometimes you got to just, the good, the bad, and the ugly, you got to really focus and understand you're not perfect, and you have to be willing, number one, to do the work. Then number two, you have to be truthful with yourself, because we was just talking before the commercial break, we was just talking about rejection. People don't deal with rejection good. So what do you say to the people? And tell them how important it is to get the work, to do the work. What is you doing? Do the work.
Yeah, it's highly important. And I say face your fear. And most people fear actually getting down and dirty with themselves. And that's usually what holds them back from actually really looking inside of themselves as to the person that they are. It's easier to look at somebody else and judge somebody else, or one of your girlfriends or one of your male friends, to tell them about themselves. But then when you have to do that for yourself, it's like, bam, it's like smacking you in your face, and you don't want to actually uncover everything inside of you. So that's why most people stay stuck, because they don't want to face their own reality of who they are. They don't want to uncover all of those skeletons, all of the traumatic experiences, all of the negative emotions that they have inside of them. They rather put on this mask of who they think people want to see, or who they think that they want to be, instead of uncovering their authentic self. I say to you, if you are stuck, if you are afraid of actually uncovering who you truly are, now is the time to do it. You're not getting any younger, and keeping all of that bottled up inside of you is not helping your mental at all. It's what's causing your panic attacks. It's what's causing your anxiety. It's what's causing your, dig deep down inside yourself, grab a pen and paper and start writing. Just start letting it all out. You will feel 20 pounds lighter. Trust me, I've been there.
Yes, most definitely. Because listen, it has been so many times where you just keep holding yourself, and you're holding this grudge, and you're not dealing with it. But you have to understand, and this is what happened to me. I had dealt with anxiety, depression. I was a chronic pain. I call myself chronic pain warrior. And I had to understand it wasn't just my pain, my physical pain, that was giving me, flaring up my anxiety. It was some external things that was as well. And it wasn't until I had to be honest with myself and observe. And then when my body started reacting negatively, sometimes it could be somebody's voice, because I didn't forgive them. And I would feel my body tighten up, spasm up, my anxiety to be off the chain. And then I had to realize what my triggers were. And then how to deal with it. So if I knew this particular person, listen, and it was a family member too. So you can't just, hey, this is real talk, sis. You just can't just not be near them. That's your family. So what I had to do was be honest and like, okay, deep down, they not, because they got too much pride. They're not going to say, oh, I'm so sorry for doing this. All right, what we're going to do, I'm going to let it go. I'm going to release it, because I can't keep living like this. There's no peace. There's no peace. So for whomever that's listening and you're in this situation, let it go. Listen. And then people say, oh, but you don't know how bad it was. You don't know what I've been through. Listen, it doesn't matter. Everybody got a story. Stop. Stop with your
Exactly.
pity party. Everybody has a story. And I guarantee you, I can get 20 people on this show right now, and their story is going to be worse than yours. It's going to be a nightmare compared to yours. I don't care. So do the work. Be honest with yourself. Understand your triggers and heal. Heal. Get to that point where you need to heal. And I'm so passionate about that because I know it kept me in a state of where anxiety just controlled my life. I mean, it held me down like, you know, like the wrestlers, and they be like, pin. Yeah, anxiety had me just laid out.
Exactly. But do you know how many people don't know about the habit loop that you were just talking about? So they're going about their day and they're having an amazing day. And then all of a sudden, their emotions have just transpired to something totally different. And they don't even know why. They don't realize that a certain smell or a certain place or a certain person has skewed an emotion that happened to them 10 years ago.
Listen, that's what they need to understand. And that's where sometimes you can't do it by yourself. You need help to get to the next step. I mean, I tell people therapy and Jesus will get you on through pretty good. But then, but then if you have someone that, you know, like Damika, she is, you know, trained in what she does and she's great at what she does. She can help you get from one step to the next. So make up in your mind today that today is it. I can't keep living like this. I've heard something today that resonates with me. That is me. Let's be truthful. Let's be truthful. If that's you, this is who you need to connect with, Miss Damika Wesley, because she has the tools that you need. Listen, life is too short. Like, let's get it together. Let's live abundantly. Yes, and you're so right about the smells. Listen, there was a smell, and it's either good or bad. It can remind you of a good time. It can remind you of a bad time. But if you have not done the work, that bad time, it can put you in a deep spiral down.
Yes, it can.
And you lie. Yes. And it'll keep you longer than you want to stay. You just be like, oh, I just gonna reminisce. Before you know it, you in the bed, cuddled up, you know, like, oh my God. In the fetus position, like, oh, woe is me. It's like, no, because you have not dealt with the root of the problem. You have not dealt with it and let it go. It is time to let some stuff go up and chill today. And it's time to focus on you as a person and live your best life. Because so many times we focus on, especially us women. I'm going to talk to the women. Listen, y'all be doing y'all thing. But for women, we wear so many hats. We the mama. Sometimes we the daddy. We the mama. We the caregiver. We're the provider. We're the instructor. We're the teacher. We're the disciplinary. We're the business owners. So we wear so many hats, but then we don't take those hats off and do the self-care for ourselves. We cannot pour from an empty cup. You have to understand you need to pause, get yourself together. Just like they say on the airplane, if something goes down, the turbulence, you have to put that mask on your face first and then your children. So you have to be able to be good and healed before you can help those that's under you. That is, listen, this is where we need to be. Y'all got to get it right. I know it's some work, but it's worth it. It is definitely worth it. All right. So Damika, can you share some strategies? I mean, we've done a lot so far. Even more strategies on coping, like a coping mechanism that can help navigate through that hardship and that maintain hope throughout their journey, because it is going to be the journey. What can you give us for that?
Yes. I'm big on journaling. Journaling gives you that release. When you don't have a support system that you can turn to, that you actually trust, journaling actually helps you to release it. So I know that's a big coping mechanism for me. And then a support system. And your support system doesn't just mean like your friends or your family. They are great. I absolutely love my circle. I can turn to them for any and everything, and they're going to be there for me. And they're going to give it to me, whether it's the good, the bad, or the ugly. They're going to be there to give it to me real, like I really need it. So if you have that, that is an amazing thing to have. And also, sometimes your support system is organizations.
Mm.
Sometimes it's your therapist or your coach. Just find a support system that you can trust and that you can depend on. And just don't bottle things up. And figure out different things that you can do that helps you to release. It may be going for a walk in nature that helps some people. I know
Okay.
basketball or sports help some people. So whatever you need to do to release for that moment and then come back and then begin your self-reflection, then
Okay.
begin to look at the situation. Those are like some of the different coping mechanisms that I suggest.
Oh, that's awesome. And that's so attainable because a lot of times people feel like to cope, you always got to spend money or something like this, and you don't. It is
No,
things that is you can find a piece of paper, write it down, journal, get those thoughts out. That's really good. I love that. I love, love, love that. Okay, so now the question is you've given so many gems, and thank you very much. How can someone contact you? What do you have an offer that you have a challenge? Do you have a promotion, a mentorship? What do you have for the people?
yes, outside of my coaching, which I offer one-on-one coaching, and I offer a 12-week coaching program, which is redefine, reinvent, and rise. It takes you through the three different phases. Um,
Okay.
I also have a 14-day habit makeover challenge. And I created that because I believe when you change your habits, you change your life. Our habits shape who we are. We do our habits every day, knowingly or unknowingly, and most of the time it's unknowingly. So when we're able to actually change our unhealthy habits into healthy habits, you change who you are and you start to create the person that you want to be. So I absolutely love my 14-day challenge. It'll get you
Oh
going.
wow.
Yes.
Yes,
It'll,
I can imagine. It's been more intentional. So do you have it a certain day or is it anybody can get in whenever or does it roll over? How does that work?
Well, I'm actually closing it out. We're on day 11 of it now. It will open back up in
Okay.
August, August 17. We'll
Okay.
launch it again. So anybody who wants to join then, my 12-week coaching program is always open and I'm always available to do one-on-one coaching. And you can
Awesome.
find any of those things on my website, which is evolvecoaching.com. And evolve is ELVE. Let me start that over. EL. Look, I'm like so tongue twisted. EVFBE coaching.com.
Okay, okay, great. And we're gonna have it in the notes anyway. Someone wants to to get in contact with you. And what about your social media handles? What's your
You can
handles?
find me on all platforms at Evolve Coach.
At Evolve Coaching. Coaching at the end? ING? Okay, okay, okay. I don't know if that's my service or her service. It looks like you're frozen, sis. Thank you very much, Damika. Thank you very much for coming out today. Okay, there you go. Thank you very much. We will have your information in the notes. Any last words, advice? Because you listen, you gave a lot of steps, and I appreciate that. That's going to help a lot of people. Any last words you like to close out with?
Yes. Today is the day to start your healing process. Don't wait till tomorrow. Tomorrow is not promised to any of us. You can live the reality that you've been thinking about and dreaming about. All you have to do is put in the work. And as I say, when you change your habits, you begin to change your life. So I encourage you today to get unstuck. Release all of that that has been having a hold on you. Your past does not define you, and you can live even through everything that you have been through. You can still overcome. You can be resilient. You don't have to let your setbacks and your obstacles stop who you truly are.
That is awesome. Thank you very much, Damika. Thank you very much for being a guest. You was wonderful. You listen, guys. I want you all to follow her on all social media platforms and also get in contact with her. Go ahead and join that challenge. I mean, the 14-day challenge. Sometimes we just need some direction, and we have all the intentions to do it, but we need someone who can direct us. So grab that challenge that's coming up in August. Listen, thank you for showing up today and coming on by so we can chit chat. I hope you enjoyed the show. And if anything resonated with you that Damika said or that I've said today, please, we would love to hear from you. Just let us know, give us some feedback, or if you have an idea of a show that you would like to for us to do, hey, let us know, because we in this together, right? Yes, yes. Listen, subscribe, like, and share the Sheila C. Hill Show, where we're here to thrive. We're here to educate. We're here to inspire and empower. So at the end of the day, we are here for you. But if no one has told you this today, let me be the first. You are loved and you are highly appreciated. There's nothing you can do about it, because I love you, boo. Okay? I love you, and I'm so glad that you're here today. Listen, try to do everything that you know to do, because everything that you need for life is in you. It's in you. Stop making the excuses. Do the work. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go. Until next time on the Sheila C. Hill Show. Smooches, love, peace, and hair grease.